Hey, let's do a little unboxing and overview and teardown of this WORKPRO 90 tooth quick release ratchet. This is their low profile ratchet. This is the 3/8 version. They sell this in a 3-piece kit, and I think it's usually under $30. This was on their big spring sale on Amazon, and I think I paid $10.99 shipped for it. So 92 3/8 low profile. These are made in China. They're made by Great Star Industrial. Again, that's who owns SK now. But they give you a little manual here. Manual gives you all the specs of the different size ratchets. You can pause that to read it if you feel so inclined. But this one kind of caught my eye after I had bought that Toolant ratchet because it looked really similar to that Toolant, at least from here on up. The handle is obviously different than the Toolant Nano Grip that I just posted, and unfortunately I don't have that one here with me anymore. I gave it away. But we'll go over this thing real quick. Crimping on the ball detents, nice and centered. Anvil was machined after it was forged. Does not have a lot of slop, very little slop. But someone had made the comment about, I think the internals of this thing look really close to the Kobalt Pro 90 series of ratchets, the ones that came out about 4 or 5 years ago. So I happen to have this whole set of the comfort grip and the all chrome handle model. You can see obviously the switch is proprietary on the Kobalt, and the switch is, I guess, proprietary to the WORKPRO. But I'm willing to bet everything on the inside of this thing is exactly the same, even though these Kobalts are made in Vietnam and the WORKPRO being made in China. I think they're all using the same parts kit minus the switch. Or they're just buying them from the same factory and then shipping them to Vietnam and putting them in there. But I'll let you notice this one now because I'm going to change the guts out on both of them, swap them. This Kobalt has a scratch. I bought these used, and I think the original owner did not know how to take the hanger tag off it. They have a security clip, and it took the black oxide off that. This one's a little used here. But let me crack them open, and we'll take a look at them. If I remember, I'll try to put a still shot of the internals of the Toolant ratchet up alongside this one, this WORKPRO, and I'll let you see them. So this did have some lube in it, and it does have a blue thread locker on it. The Kobalt had very little lube but had thread locker on it. But let me get this guy open here. I pulled the pawl out. Let's put it back in there. The pawl detent on these is way far back on the switch. Or I'm sorry, yeah, on the switch. So that looks identical to the Toolant, right down to the same pawl and everything. Wave washer, no O-ring. Alright, let me bust this Kobalt one open real quick and we'll take a look at that. Alright, so the Kobalt is on the right. WORKPRO is on the left. So the anvil seems to be different, and obviously the switches are going to be proprietary to each ratchet. But the machining is identical on it. let's swap some parts and see if they work. Alright, this is the WORKPRO back plate. This is the Kobalt back plate. Let's just switch everything except for the switch and the detent. So there's the... we'll get that guy in a second. This is the Kobalt, or this is the WORKPRO. I know the... See, this one's used. That's the Kobalt. Oh. That one looks like it's going to work. Here's the WORKPRO Paul. Then the new WORKPRO anvil. Paul detent seems a little tighter on my Kobalt. Alright, let's see. Let's put the Kobalt back plate on it. This is the Kobalt screws as well. Try not to look through this camera to put these screws in so I'm not jamming the screwdriver all over the place. Let's put this guy back on real quick too. So this is the WORKPRO back plate on the Kobalt. Trying to go too fast and not make the video too long. Works Kobalt anvil. Remember that scratch in the WORKPRO? I'd say they're using the same gear pack in there. The Kobalt, mine are probably 4 years old now, 4 or 5 years old. I got these when they first came out. It did not have the same markings on the pawl as the WORKPRO, but they both had a C on the back side of the pawl, so it's probably the same thing. I'll take this one apart, and I just want to go over something real quick, and I'll stop the video and swap them all back together, and we'll check the back drag on this. But so on this style of ratchet, and there's a handful of ratchets like this, it's not just the Kobalt and this one, but see how that pawl is so far back on the switch, or I'm sorry, the pawl detent is so far back on the switch. Well, when that is like that, if you were to have this switch in the neutral position, and if you were to drop this or hammer on it, if you were to use this as a hammer, I don't know why, but some people do, this whole switch assembly can fly out of there with the pawl detent, the spring under this guy and everything can come flying out of there. So you want to keep that in mind if you have these Kobalts or any other ratchet that's real similar to this. This is why the Milwaukees, have that switch keeper plate in the back of them to keep that from happening. But always try to make sure that you switch to one side or the other whenever you set the ratchet down, because you set it down with enough force that kinetic energy could shoot the switch out of the back side, because your your pawl will be completely collapsed. If I can get that to focus, just like that. So this is in the neutral position. You can see that daylight through there. It'll come right out of there. Alright, let's get it back together here and I'll test the back drag on it. Give me a second. Alright, I put the Kobalt internals back on it. There's that scratch that I went over earlier. And we'll try to zoom out here and see if we can't get the whole ratchet in view. It definitely has pretty light back drag. There's no doubt about it. Gear set sounds pretty good. Switching seems pretty positive. I think this is a pretty good little budget ratchet. You know, if you don't want to spend, I think these Kobalts are, you know, like 26 bucks now for a 3/8. I bought these used on eBay. I bought a 3-piece set I guess somebody got for Christmas. They didn't like them or something, but that was right after these things came out, and I haven't had any problems with these. The 1/4" and the 1/2" version gets a little bit more use of my set, but one of these days I'll bring it down, bring the whole set down, and we'll take a look at them. But no, I think this is a halfway decent ratchet. It's cheaper than the Toolant version, and it pretty much has the same gear set. So if you don't like that gunmetal chrome that the Toolant ratchet has, this ought to be a decent choice. I might go ahead and get the 1/4" version of this one as well. I'll probably keep this one in my collection, but somebody wanted that Toolant one, so I handed it off. But there you go. Alright guys, take care.